Well, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the third and final part of this series of articles dealing with this prosecutor in Kansas that bears, although she's female, a striking resemblance in what she does to Ken Kratz. And in the same way that she's going to get her comeuppance, so too will Ken Kratz at some point. Also, hopefully this will be out before I start my chat with Mark. Mark Hoddinott, going to have a chat with him in about 50 minutes time. So I'll then schedule that for probably later on today when it'll be about 10 o'clock in Australia, so I'll schedule it for sort of early mid-morning for Australia, and that should be later today, obviously for us, say 9 hours later. Yeah, that would be good. 10 hours. About 11 o'clock for us, but about 5 o'clock for Wisconsin. Anyway, we'll worry about that when we get to it. Here is the third and final article about this corrupt district attorney, Spradling. Okay. As I say, this is by Tim Carpenter, so we've come forward to just last week, really, and panel urges disbarment of Kansas attorney for deliberate misconduct in 2 high-profile trials. Spradling's legal career in jeopardy for win at all costs attitude. Like I said, well, doesn't that remind us just of Kratz? A three attorney disciplinary panel recommended the Kansas Supreme Court disbar former Shawnee County prosecutor Jackie Spradling for misconduct in 2 high-profile Kansas criminal cases overturned on appeal. So we're back at Topeka. A 3-attorney panel unanimously recommended the Kansas Supreme Court disbar a Kansas attorney for knowingly making false statements to juries. That bit there, if I click on it, it would take me back to the first article that I read, and in there was the link to the second article. So I'll post this in the description below, so you can easily access all 3. Now then, Jackie Spradling, who more recently worked as an attorney in Bourbon and Allen counties, landed before the disciplinary panel after the Supreme Court overturned the 2012 double homicide conviction of Dana Chandler in Shawnee County, and the Kansas Court of Appeals overturned a 2017 guilty verdict against Jacob Ewing in a sex crime case in Jackson County. Jackie Spradling was lead prosecutor in both cases. Chandler is awaiting retrial for first-degree murder, while Ewing accepted a plea deal in May to avoid another trial. Sounds to me like an Alford plea. Based on the deliberative pattern of serious misconduct and the serious injury that followed, the hearing panel unanimously recommends that the respondent be disbarred. The report submitted to the Supreme Court said, from all the evidence presented, it appears that the respondent concluded that Chandler and Ewing were guilty of the crimes charged, and she adopted a, quote, win at all costs approach. The report obtained Friday by the Kansas Reflector was submitted by panelists John Larson, Darcy Williamson, and William Jeter for consideration by the Supreme Court. The panel said the issue wasn't that Spradling engaged in an isolated incident or made an inconsequential mistake in the heat of trial. The panel said the Iola resident knowingly and intentionally engaged in a deliberative pattern of serious misconduct. In addition, the panel determined Spradling's handling of the two criminal cases undermines the confidence in the judicial system and caused serious injury to the administration of justice. Members of the Supreme Court, which hold final authority in disciplinary cases involving attorneys, will issue a decision based on the panel's 78-page report. The State Disciplinary Administrator's Office in Kansas that investigated complaints about Spradling's behavior as a prosecutor proposed that a license to practice law be indefinitely suspended. Spradling, however, told the disciplinary panel that she shouldn't be disciplined at all. Spradling had been dismissive of allegations of wrongdoing until she testified at the disciplinary panel hearing in December. During that under oath appearance, she conceded to having failed in these cases to uphold the ethical duties of a prosecutor. She begged the hearing panel to accept her assertion that her work as an officer of the court was defined by a protectiveness, a loyalty, and a belief in justice, protecting the state. When these cases were overturned, it was very difficult because I had let the system down. I had let the victims down, and I had denied the defendants a fair trial, Spradling said. As of Friday, Spradling was employed as the Bourbon County Attorney in Fort Scott. Allen County Attorney Jerry Hathaway said Spradling resigned from her position Friday as Assistant County Attorney for Allen County. Well, it was the same as Kratz. He eventually had to resign, didn't he? With regard to the recommendation of the disciplinary panel, I was disappointed, Hathaway said. The Supreme Court laid the foundation for advancement of a disciplinary case against Spradling in 2018, when the justices overturned Chandler's convictions in the Topeka slayings of Mike Sisko, Chandler's ex-husband, and his fiancée, Karen Harkness. The Supreme Court said Spradling's conduct in the Chandler case illustrated how a compulsion for courthouse victories could subvert a prosecutor's duty to guarantee a person's fair trial rights. Supreme Court Justice Dan Biles summed up Spradling's tactics in the Chandler trial. Quote, taken as a whole, this prosecution unfortunately illustrates how a desire to win can eclipse the state's responsibility to safeguard the fundamental constitutional right to a fair trial owed to any defendant facing criminal prosecution in a Kansas courtroom. During the Chandler trial in Shawnee County District Court, Spradling falsely told the jury a protection from abuse order was issued against Chandler prior to the 2002 slaying of Sisko and Harkness. But there is evidence Sisko requested a mutual temporary restraining order 4 years before his death while going through the divorce from Chandler. When Chandler appealed her case, Spradling told the Supreme Court justices in a written brief that she believed the more rigorous protection from abuse order had been put in place by a district court. That's what she had told the Chandler jury and repeated to state disciplinary investigators, despite an inability to produce evidence a judge had ever issued that type of restraining order against Chandler. Spradling testified to the three-person disciplinary panel that she never possessed documentary proof of the protection from abuse order. She said filing of the disciplinary case led her to conduct a fresh attempt to locate such a document. That search was unsuccessful. I was wrong, dead wrong, Spradling told the panel. So for a person who wants to be right, strives to be right, being wrong is embarrassing, humbling. You're trying to protect the state and in your protectiveness, and you've got a win at all costs attitude as a result. The disciplinary panel responded to her confession in its report. In addition to the false statement made to the jury and to the Supreme Court during the respondent's sworn statement made during the disciplinary investigation, she also made false statements. During the disciplinary hearing, the respondent admitted that her sworn statement included misstatements. So having sworn, you then lie. The hearing panel concludes that the respondent took an oath to tell the truth when she gave the sworn statement, and she failed to do so. Spradling's reputation as an experienced prosecutor of complex crimes in Johnson and Shawnee counties led officials in Jackson County to hire her as a special prosecutor. The similarities are endless. In the Ewing case, it was a case made difficult because the alleged crimes occurred in a small community and turned on the jury's conclusions of the credibility of female witnesses. Spradling convinced a jury in Jackson County that Ewing was guilty of rape, aggravated criminal sodomy, and battery. The Halton man was sentenced to 27 years in prison. In 2019, the Court of Appeals concluded Spradling made a half dozen errors during the Ewing trial and had offered unsubstantiated claims to the Ewing jury during closing arguments. The case was remanded to Jackson County District Court. Rather than go through a retrial, Ewing agreed in May to a plea deal that would trigger a 10-year sentence for sexual assault. Prolonged inquiries into prosecutors' dirty laundry invite claims of bias. I think we've looked at that one. Yeah, Topeka. Career prosecutor Jackie Spradling will fight to preserve her reputation and law license this week in a Topeka building nestled among the weeds of a natural biosystem for cleansing the city's solid runoff. The hearing will take place in a makeshift pandemic-fitted courtroom with restricted access to the Kansas office of the disciplinary. No, that's one we've read before. Let's go back. Let's read a little bit about Tim Carpenter. I think that's the end of that particular article. Yes. Yeah, as I say, that's the article. I think it was the second article that we did. Tim Carpenter has reported on Kansas for 35 years. He covered the Capitol for 16 years at the Topeka Capital Journal and previously worked for the Lawrence Journal, World and United Press International. He has been recognized for investigative reporting on Kansas government and politics. He won the Kansas Press Association's Victor Murdoch Award 6 times. The William Allen White Foundation honored him 4 times with its Burton Marvin News Enterprise Award. The Kansas City Press Club twice presented him its Journalist of the Year Award, and more recently its Lifetime Achievement Award. He earned an agricultural degree at Kansas State University and grew up on a small dairy and beef cattle farm in Missouri. He is an amateur woodworker and drives Studebaker cars. Oh, they're pretty cool cars, aren't they? Anyway, there you go. I'd say the parallels are endless, aren't they? You know, but we'll keep an eye and see what happens. As I say, it was Jerry Butin that first tweeted about this case last week. Anyway, so that's the third and final part of that, and I've still to do the third and final video, cover the dude's video where he talks about the the on-bank hearing. So anyway, let's say cheerio, and we'll see you all soon with either the video with the dude or probably with the HOD. Anyway, catch you all soon. As I say, I'll leave the link in the description below, and that's how you can access the other articles as well. Catch you soon. Bye for now.